Aries, welcome to May of 2023, where so much is going on. New passion for sure, new directions around what inspires you. A lot to do with new forms of prosperity beginning to bud. This month will go for a year. And more importantly, Mars, the ruler of your sign, is in his once every 2-year grand entrance into fiery Leo. This will benefit you greatly as this creates fire trine energy to your sign, vitalizes you, enthuses you, inspires you, and more. So we're going to get going on how this looks for you in the month of May. Is an eclipse in May. We'll be talking briefly about that in this video as well. So let's get started. So first of all, if you are new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian. I am a whole sign house Hellenistic astrologer. I use the Western tropical zodiac. I love asteroids and fixed stars. And if you follow me, you'll learn a lot about the asteroids as we go along over all of the 20 to 30 videos I put out each month. Check out my description box below for everything I have to offer. My Sky Reader course starts in May. On the 6th of May, it's a 7-week live course with me to be your own astrologer and time your best life. If that at all interests you, it may be the third and last time I'm teaching this live. So if you want to jump in, check the description box below for all the information about that. Otherwise, everything I do is in my box below. My readings are available. However, I'm booked all the way through to the fall. You can get on my wait list or for early bird notice for summer spots that are opening up. All right, let's get rolling and talk about the sky. So let's talk about the gist of the sky. There's a lot going on. I'm trying to focus on each sign all the time on what is most important to you based on your rising sign, sun and moon secondarily. So we don't cover every little minutia of the month, right? What's the big news story that impacts you the most is what I'm trying to get at. First of all, by far, one of the big stories is that Mars is the ruler of your sign. And, if he's your ascendant, he's your Lugna Lord or your, the Time Lord planet that's the most important for you. And you need to pay attention to him. So every 2 years, he will go into the sign of Leo. And when he does that, you benefit. Why? Because you're Aries rising, sun or moon secondarily, and Mars will be in the sign of Leo, fire to fire. It's called a trine. It's the nature of Jupiter. The trine, while Mars is moving through Leo, will be from your 5th house. Now, that's a lucky, positive house. It's a house of passion, sexuality, and romance, your children, your independent business enterprise, winning money in games of chance, And because Venus will be joining him later on in June, there's this June vibe where you could win money, but also June, July, but also it's where you're inspired. Where's your passion? Where's your enthusiasm for life? Where's your joy? And every, couple of years, Mars, the god of passion, purpose, passion, directionality, willpower, action, will go into that part of the sky and try to remind you, like, are you actually having fun? Are you enjoying your life? Mars is competitive and competition and winning. And when he goes into the 5th house, that up levels as well. You want to win. You're actively trying to succeed at something that brings you enthusiasm. So we're going to see that Mars ingress on May the 20th. Okay. So May the 20th through to the end of the month, actually it's May the 20th had 6 weeks, but we're just talking about this month. You begin to feel a new vibe in the sky, and it will feel like a relief in some ways for you, because when Mars is in Cancer, it doesn't necessarily really feel good for a Mars ruled being. And I'm also Aries sun and moon, so I get the vibe that you're also feeling. That's Mars in the 4th house of home, property, family of origin, childhood stuff. But it's he's in water, right? That's a problem. So Mars is trying to be super mom-like, in Cancer, more emotionally sensitive and all of that, more peace-loving, I suppose, in a very nurturant way, not his disposition at all. And so you have to know that every 2 years for about 6 weeks, you get that vibration of Mars in Cancer, which doesn't feel necessarily comfortable. Now that Mars is moving into Leo on the 20th of May, it gets you going. It's a real good feeling, that jumpstart, that shift of gears. And so get ready for that. It's going to feel lovely. There is some intensity, however, and I am not going in chronological order. So just pay attention to the focus of what we're going to say. There is some intensity as Mars ingresses. That means moves into. Excuse me, I dropped my notes. That's Mars moves into Leo, and that is that he's going to form a very gnarly T-square at the very beginning of this ingress with Pluto. So on the 20th, 21st, 22nd of May, he will be opposite Pluto, the god of transformation, death, rejuvenation, Phoenix rising from ashes, power, sometimes control. And there's tension in the sky here for you between issues of 5th and 11th house, friendships, friendship circles, groups of belonging. I'm giving you 11th house Pluto meanings, great gains from your career, and tension in something to do with your children, or the house of romantic love. Also, an elder sibling can be the 11th house tension point for Pluto, and Mars is something to do with either your children or your romantic life or your sex life, your fertility. Things to do with your independent business enterprise. And this T square is because that the two Pluto opposite Mars become entangled in a square to Mercury and Taurus, now moving direct, right? Because Mercury has been retrograde, but will be direct after May 14th. So Mercury's pretty close to the node of fate. So there's a Rahu intensity there. Only good news is Jupiter's also there, kind of bonifying the whole tip of the T square. But you can expect some tension in your earnings money house. Voice, vocation, calling, earnings, money, possessions, all of this stuff, Mercury, marketing, merchandising, selling, negotiating, communicating in the earnings house is in the tip of a tension angle with Pluto and Mars. I would say possibly you're looking at some kind of friction between independent business enterprise and your earnings and your great gains from your career, or some kind of tension with some romantic partner, lover, or child regarding money issues, things like that. Because Pluto is in the house of friends, there can be some tension for sure with a significant friend or ally in your life that's also having some financial repercussions for your story. And in this T square, it's not long. It doesn't last a long time, but it's the first time there will be a Mars T square involving Pluto and Aquarius since like 240 years ago. So it has significance for its fresh flavor of something you haven't experienced in your lifetime, unless you're like somebody who's immortal. So basically, it's some kind of tension in those 11th house placements. Now, ultimately, there's this idea that the 11th house can be about your dreams and wishes from your life, and also windfalls and pennies from heaven. Possibly, even though it's a T square, it could deliver some kind of chunky money to you, or it could be some kind of real massive overhaul of your vision, dreams, and way that you wish to earn money in this life, but through a kind of a gritty 3 days, the 20th to the 22nd for sure. Get ready for that. Then it smooths out after that. There is, because of the nodal axis sort of involved in this, right? The North Node is at 2 degrees and Mercury's at 7. They're both involved. Well, yeah, that can also look something like, and Jupiter's involved. I mean, sorry, I should have been really clear. Jupiter, North Node, Mercury, all three of them are at the tip of this T square. Like Jupiter is a planet of opportunity. And so, as I said, he mitigates some of the intensity, but the South Node axis is also involved, and it's creating what we call a grand cross. So it's a real make or break thing to do with money, prosperity, earnings, reputation, great gains, and career. So let me know how that goes. I'm Aries Sun and Moon. I'm going to be very interested in seeing what happens for me as well. So that's the breaking news story for Aries this month. Now we're going to go into some smaller stories that may be kind of worth knowing about. These videos are only about 15 minutes long. Remind you that if you want to sign up for my channel, subscribe, like, guess what? You get to get much more detail all month long for most of the major things I'll be talking about today. Okay, so Venus will move on May the 7th out of the sign of Cancer, move into your 4th house of property, home, and real estate. To make it simple, you love being at home. People you love are in the home. Women may be visiting you in your home. You're having romantic and loving things go on at home. Self-nurtures, nurturing others, whatever. Venus and Cancer can be very nurturant. So you're enjoying the pleasures and the essential pleasures and the safety and the nesting vibe. So why are you so nesty? That's the question. May 7th, as she enters into this part of your sky, she'll be there till early June. Sometimes when Venus goes into this part of the sky, we need to really ask ourselves in our own natal chart, which is why astrology is important. Where is your natal moon, right? In relationship to the Cancer house that moon owns. And that could help you define that. But in the real sky at that time, because Venus goes into your Cancer zone once every year for about 3 weeks, this time the moon will be, the moon moves quickly, right? So, forget that story. I'm not going to do the ingress story. I apologize. Forget it. So ask yourself a little bit about your natal moon in terms of where she sits, if you're an astrology type, to know how you might, what's the word I want? Like squeeze the pleasure out of your home life, May the 7th into early June. So it looks quite sweet for you. and childhood friends or things from your childhood and nostalgia about your childhood can be coming back to you in some way during that transit. Jupiter will leave your first house. You've had him there since December 20th, which is wonderful. This can make you a little bit chubbier, bigger, more muscular. You can expanded your girth. But when Jupiter has been there since December 20th and leaves on May 20th, right? Yes, the same day that Mars leaves Cancer to Leo, you're going to end a story that really began a year before in 2022 of Jupiter asking you to sort of like live long and prosper, to level up, to become more effectively Jupiterian, to lead, lead like a girl, lead like a boy, to lead, to be more magnanimous and generous, and to be more authentically true to your dreams, wishes, to be faithful to what brings you hope, and to look at yourself through the lens of half full cups and optimism and hopefully some luck. Now that story is coming to a close, and that's good, because what Jupiter does next is move into your money house for 1 year. And if you're an Aries rising, especially Sun, it could be for your career. Moon, it could be about property. So Aries Moon people, Jupiter can level up home and property stuff. Aries Sun people, he's definitely able to activate career stories for you and level up your career if you have Jupiter moving over your Taurus Sun. But if you're Aries rising, the Taurus part of your sky is your second house. Sorry, did I say, if you're an Aries Sun, then it's about your career. If you're an Aries Moon, it's about your mom or your home and stuff like that. And if you're an Aries, it's Jupiter moving, just clearly and cleanly through the whole of the second house. For how long? For a long, long time, for a year. So until May 24th or so next year. So from, May 20th to May 24th, get ready, get set, go. This is a beginning of something really lovely for you. And I think I'm going to double check my dates, because I am having the spaciest day, and I'm not going to redo Aries, but I want to make sure it is a little earlier. I apologize. This is me on a day when I'm ultimately spacier than hell. I'm sorry, the 16th, 17th of May. So the 16th, 17th of May to next May 24th, 2024, you're going to live long and prosper. You're going to find new ways to make money. Jupiter plants golden eggs here. He helps you see the new ways that money can come to you. It's not just, the day he ingresses. It's a year-long story, but pay attention to the middle of May. You'll feel a change, and you may have new opportunities coming, especially when he's at 0 degrees, which is going to be like May 16th, 17th, 18th-ish. Then look for exciting potential new financial opportunities showing up on your doorstep at that time. And, take notes, because sometimes the ingress points, the early time a planet steps into a place, is important. Okay. Jupiter will also be connecting with the North Node of Fate in your earnings house. And that's going to be the most intense, mid-May through to the first week of June. A lot of intensity around the very last day of June, last day of May, sort of like the very last 2 or 3 days of May, the first couple of days of June. North Node Rahu, which is the same thing, Jupiter conjunction in your earnings house, could be exciting, dramatic expansion of financial prosperity and earnings in some unexpected but feeling lucky way, so get ready for that. Jupiter plants some really positive prosperity stories this month, as well as over the next 2 years. Now let's keep going. I don't want to keep it too long here, because I'm sorry about being so spacey today. I really have no reason for it. I feel ungrounded today. I'm recording on April 17th. This goes to my Patreon community before you guys get it, which will probably be the 22nd of April. If you're into getting content early and ad free, you might want to, for $5 a month, try me out. You can unsubscribe anytime from my Patreon community. All details are in my description box. All right. So now I'm going to go back to another story that's going on this week. And as I do that, I have to fix my chart, because I've been flipping in the chart and I've lost the Aries on my sky. And give me a minute. All right. Aries. Scorpio, there's an eclipse in Scorpio. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about this for everyone, because I'm doing a big giant video on it, but the lunar eclipse in Scorpio, the last Scorpio eclipse of a cycle of eclipses, it began in November of 2021. Now, because you're a Mars ruled being, and this is one of Mars's signs, we're going to talk about this eclipse for you. Scorpio is your 8th house of chunky money, inheritance, tax rebates, investment monies, insurance payouts, spousal shared resources, business partnership, alimony, spousal support, all of that stuff. Money that belongs to other people, you get your grubby hands on. Well, there's a fullness, a completion, a full moon. It's running off the eclipse. It was a new moon eclipse on October the Oh, what's the date of that eclipse? Brain, come back online. Give me 5 seconds. Remind myself of what that is. October the 25th last year. So new moon eclipse, October 25th, now coming to a full fruition in the house of chunky money, and the house also of secrets and the occult mysteries. But, at a practical level, it's a money house. So what kind of October 25th, maybe add a month, now it's back again. Can you connect the dots around eighth house matters? Because now there's a full energy and it's a completion, but it's also something that could be what ends for something new to come in. A full moon can be about how you perceive something anew, with a new kind of eerie light of the eclipse, giving you some new perceptual window. The eclipse itself is happening at 27 or so degrees of the sign of, at 14 degrees and 52 minutes of the sign of Scorpio. So if you have any planets in your eighth house around that degree, or any planets in Scorpio around that degree, it matters for you, okay? That you're going to have that planet participating in this new beginning, but this also completion or ending around chunky money stories. Anytime eighth house is activated, if you want to buy or sell real estate or property or change a lease, those things are also very auspicious for you. All right. What else do I want you to know about in the month of the merry, merry month of April? Certainly having Mercury moving direct on the 14th of May in a money house, and then having Jupiter on the 16th join him. This is great for marketing, merchandising, selling. This is great for communicating, negotiating things to do with money. It's certainly great to ask for a raise or up level yourself financially through your own career strategies, but sometimes you may sell or buy something and have a lot of luck and support from that direct Mercury on May 14th. Mercury goes direct at 5 degrees of Taurus. So if you have planets near 5 Taurus as well in your second house, they participate in this positive momentum of buying, selling, making money, and negotiating deals around money. May 14th onward, Aries. Okay. And let's see what else I can tell you about. Don't forget, I'm just giving you highlights. If I went through everything, we'd be here for an hour. There is let me go by being what you need to know the most. There's a Cazimi. Mercury goes into the heart of the sun on the 11th of May. On the 1st and 2nd of May, starts the month off there at 11 degrees of Taurus. So just reminding you of that. He's retrograding into the heart of the sun. This can bring back old financial opportunities from the past. This can bring through breakthrough ideas about how to make money. May 1st and the 2nd. Keep your eye on the ball for that. At the same time, he's doing the Cazimi in the sky. Co-present with that is Mars sextiling Uranus. That can only happen on average twice a year, and twice every 2 years. So here we have Mars sextiling Uranus from Cancer. Yes, he's not happy there. Uranus in the money house. I keep bringing this up because a lot's going on for money stories for all Aries people over the month of May. I said prosperity and passion, right? The passion is Mars moving into your 5th house, and the prosperity is all this action in your 2nd house of earnings and money that you can use to survive and thrive. So that Uranus sextile to Mars energy could bring you a win, a lottery win. Well, not necessarily a lottery win. I apologize. It could bring you May 1st and 2nd. It can bring you an exciting development around real estate, legacy wealth, inheritances, and property that influences you financially, or something you do from home pays out big time, and you're going to see that ka-ching vibe and exciting, unexpected developments. Finally, if you use the internet for your worldwide business, World Wide Web, this is also something prosperous from the World Wide Web that might pick up some steam for you around May 1st and 2nd. And as I look through the sky for what else is most important for just you that I think you might want to know about on my Cribs notes here, Cole's notes, I would say May 10th to the 13th. There's a lot going on, but what I want to say is that there is a energy going on in the sky between Mercury and Saturn and Venus. Now, this is all beautiful flow where there are sextiles between Mercury and Saturn and between Mercury and Venus. So what does it mean in a practical note? Because Venus is moving through Cancer at this time, May 10th to the 13th, and we have Saturn in your foreign revenues, business from foreign lands and travel, 12th house. And Mercury is the patron of travelers as well, just so you know. Mercury doing that sextile in your second house to Saturn and to Venus forms a mini grand trine, which is very lucky, quite auspicious. It can be an opportunity to travel to a foreign land that can bring you some kind of prosperity, property, land, and real estate opportunities to and from and about foreign lands and foreign shores, or something to do with legacy wealth or inheritances or money from your family of origin coming through in a positive way, but money that was owed you maybe, or from the past, because we still do have Mercury retrograde at the time. So pay attention to this sort of money, bonus, luck, property, real estate, but maybe foreign land travel as well, or business revenue from foreign shores really loving you up May 10th to the 13th. And anything else you should know about in this month? I don't think so. Let me just sit with my notes. Coverage your ruler, what he's up to. So much to talk about. A bit of luck. A Venus sextiling Uranus May 25th and 26th. Uranus, something unexpected and sudden and exciting. Beautiful energies there. It could be a windfall of some sort, but it would do with property and land, and maybe even something to do with again, a lot of potential here for that legacy wealth energy. With the full moon eclipse could bring inheritances, right? May 5th. And then there's kind of Venus loving up Uranus as well at the very end of the month. And again, it's about income and revenue and property, but it's also pinging the nodal axis in the 8th house of chunky money. So there's that trine from Venus to that part of the sky. I'm not too sure. It could look also like a qualitative shift in the way you, let me get this right, an epiphanous moment about what you value when it comes to childhood, home, land, property, real estate, money, earnings, and self-worth, something like that. It could be interior. Uranus often delivers lightning bolts of aha, right? So it could be an aha moment. You're like, oh my God, when I was growing up, my dad said money doesn't grow on trees. And I realized that was a mantra that I took on way too seriously. That's really true for me, but it can be that kind of childhood messaging around money epiphany for some of you Aries risings that really breaks through a new direction for you around May 25th and 26th. All right, I think that's it. I think we're stopping now. And I hope that little taster of the month ahead is useful for you. If you would like to get a reading with me, please get on my wait list. Early bird doors open in May, if you're listening to this before this was released. And otherwise, just good luck with that. People booking me into September and all of that stuff. Anything else I need to say? I just keep wondering if I'm forgetting something. Well, I'll say one more thing. There is a new moon in your earnings house, a new beginning, a new moon on the very 19th, 20th of the month, at the very tail end of Taurus, the very end of your second house of earnings. Again, a new beginning in the way you earn money. So yeah, that's why I called you guys prosperity and passion this month. Let me know how it goes, Aries. I like to see more of us have prosperity and passion. Take very good care, and thanks for listening.